Hi, my name is Joseph E from Residential Projects Australia and I hope you're well. In this video, I really want to touch on the fundamentals when it comes to investing in property. In our last video, I spoke about how do we treat property more like a business rather than an emotional decision where most people go wrong. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, I recommend you to do so. But in this video, I really want to talk about the fundamentals before you consider buying a property. What are the things that you should look out for? When I sit down with my clients, my clients tend to ask me the one question, Joe, what are some of the things that you consider before you recommend properties to us? My answer is always the same when we have a strict 60-point due diligence check. But it's hard to go through all these points and explain that to a client for them to remember. So over the years, I had a good friend of mine came out with an acronym that said, keep things as simple as P.I.E. P.I.E stands for P.I.E, and today I'm going to touch on the letter P. P is really population. When you invest in property, just remember population is what drives prices. So when you hear that saying supply versus demand, the demand is the people, the supply is the product or the investment. So you want to know what the current population is, but you also want to know what the future population is. Under population, a perfect example would be is when you go closer towards the city, the closer you are, the more expensive it is because it's more populated, and also there's very low supply in the market, so you're competing for established properties. The other thing you want to consider too is the demographics of the area. It's really important when you buy a property or build a property that you meet the demand of that market, because not all markets are created equal, and some markets require different types of dwellings for different types of places. So are they family orientated? Are they elderly? Are they couples? Students? So when you buy or invest in a property, make sure you understand what is the demographics. If you want to go one step further, another great thing that we consider too is also what is their financial position. So what is their debt to income ratio? What is the disposable income? And why is it important to understand debt to income ratio? It's because if and when interest rates do rise, you want to be in a market that doesn't have a high level of debt to their mortgage ratio, and also a larger disposable income. As interest rates rise, they can still afford it. And another thing that you want to do is consider staying within established markets. And the reason for that is if you're within an established market, people have been living there for a long time, giving them the ability to pay down their debt more effectively. Other thing you should consider is vacancy rates. In Australia, the average vacancy rate is 3%. So when investing, consider looking at properties that are below the 3% vacancy rate, meaning out of every 100 homes, 3 houses are vacant. Now, at R.P.I.E, we try to focus on below 2%, but 3% is perfectly fine. Another thing that we want to consider is days on the market. Days in the market are quite important to give you, I guess, a level understanding of the demand at that particular time. Now, if days on the market is sitting around the 15 or so days on the market, you know it's a very hot market. That doesn't mean it's the right time to invest. But if the days on the market is sitting above 150 days, I'd reconsider investing in that particular area at any given time. The other thing that you can also consider too is rental yields and other things that we'll consider as we move on to the I and the E. But sometimes people say, well, where do you get this information from? Well, a lot of this information is gathered from places like census, your census reports that you do every 4 years, ABS, Australian Bureau of Statistics, government and council websites. You can get some more information from CoreLogic, RP Data, SQM, Residex. There's a whole bunch of sources of information out there that you can get that will help you understand a particular marketplace before you invest hundreds, if not millions of dollars in a particular market. At R.P.I.E, we've been in business now for over 20 years, helping everyday Australians replace their income through property investment. And if that's something that you want to get started with, we do offer a 30-minute free discovery session where we can help you, like we have done for over 6,000 members so far to date. So that's P. P stands for population. Under population, really understand the market that you're trying to focus on. If you want to get started, contact us. We're happy to offer you that 30-minute free discovery session. But in our next video, which I think is even more important, we're going to discuss I. If you know what I is, maybe list it down below. But if not, until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.